Alright, we'll see if I can get a good run off. Now, I'm using the speedrun timer, but personally I prefer just to use real time because I haven't tested this yet, but pretty sure the speedrun timer in-game is based off frame rate, which obviously means it's kind of jank. Like already we're 3-4 seconds off, so I'll be personally doing it off real time. Maybe one day I'll sit down and figure out the differences, and if I really feel like it, start optimizing frame rate, whatever else, setting it caps to trying to cheese the time. But that's a later problem. I'll probably give up on this game before then. But yeah, so let's get into it. So this is a game, obviously, called Astral Coconut, and I discovered it when I was going through Steam. I sorted all the games by free and then by release date, and I was just kind of curious what all was out there, and I found this gem of a game. I really can't describe it well. You'll see at least parts of it throughout this run, but I highly encourage playing it yourself and then not skipping huge chunks of it like I'm going to do. Because it's really a fun game. It's really a fun game. This is all the tutorial level, so fortunately I'm able to talk decently fine through this, but I know I will have longish moments of concentration before too long. You will notice as we go through this, the PB that I have in live splits is actually pretty awful, so I should be at least a minute or two ahead. And actually, what is for me proven to be one of the hardest parts of this whole run is happening right here. So if you hit R, you can slow down time. When you slow down time, your grappling hook range extends, which means you can just get there. And if you're lucky, you can get on that. Now, I'm often greedy, and I try to get straight up to the top one. You can get to this lower one easily. And then there also it's easy to fall down. So not a bad one there, but not a great one either. You can see what I was going for, how sometimes I get really greedy, go for it like 3 times, and fall every time, and it's a bad way after that. The combat system in this game is really just click. You can do just like standard melee attacks that aren't the weird teleport thing. But that is usually less effective. I mean, if you can just teleport to somebody and hit them, why bother with anything else? So yeah, you can't just stand around and swing your sword. It does hit multiple enemies. There's one boss fight where, in theory, it's helpful. That was weird. This game also is super buggy, as you'll come to see as I exploit some of those, but occasionally fall victim to them. Right there, I just didn't get a double jump. Yeah. So sometimes you just don't get a double jump. Sometimes you just don't get to do the speed boost thing. Sometimes the game just decides that you're not gonna have fun, and that's all there is to it. Let's see if I can land. Come on, there we go. But yeah, so in this overworld here, there are 4 sublevels. You can see the beacons. And so completing all 4 summons the boss, and then when the boss is done, you can skip the level. Or sorry, no, you can beat the level. Sorry, I gotta concentrate a little bit. I have fallen off these more than once, and especially if I want to do it fast. It can prove challenging. But yeah, so you beat the 4 sub-levels, and the boss comes out, and then you can move on to the next level. Now, I'm sure the astute observer... No, if you... Okay, fuck. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. I think I was distracted. Anyway, if you look closely at just the final boss time, and if you realize that there's 4 worlds, and I'm not even half done with this one yet, you know, how on earth am I going to beat all 4 in 5 minutes? You know, there's still 2 more sub-levels in this world, which I will be completing. The trick there is, again, this game is horribly, horribly buggy. If I had to guess, it was made as like either a quick pet project or something. I don't know. I don't know how it was made, but clearly there was not much like bug testing, because there are some pretty glaring bugs. Just issues with game design. So like it works fine, but the sub levels in this world will actually be the only sub levels we're doing. There are ways to skip the rest of them. And actually, the 2 worlds you've seen now are the only 2 that don't have any skips in them. I guess the last world has that one skip to the end a little bit, but on the scale of things, these 2 sub-worlds don't have any skips, and they are some of the only levels that don't. Ugh, horrible time loss there, 17 seconds because I'm just bad. But there should be plenty of time to save it, and we should be well ahead when all's said and done, as long as I do what I'm supposed to do. So right here, you can do the air attack and just clip right through the walls, which is nice. Yeah, so here you'll start to see some of how the game is not necessarily the best tested. This level is still, I think, really fun, but they try to enforce that you kill the things, which will unlock the grappling points. That's the intended design, but if you just skip it, you can. In that case, you have to bring a person over with you, and in this case, use the time. Whew. Yeah, use the time, slow down to grappling hook. It's not the one I wanted, but whatever. But yeah, so that level, obviously, you can skip a ton on. And this next one also has a pretty big sequence break. There's no real... The only sequence this game enforces is, you know, just the load zones are always active. It's just a question of, can you get to them? So if you can find a way to get to some area before you're supposed to, the game does not care at all and will happily continue. Which is why this is the only level that I have to beat all the way. It's because behind the back of that mouth there's that red invisible barrier, and if I can find some way through that, then I can shave off like 10 minutes of the run. But I don't know how to do that yet. If anyone is interested in this game after seeing it played and wants to figure that out and show me, I would happily take that from them. And right here, for some reason, is like one of the main places. Here we go. I just lost my boost. Oh, I'm just dumb. I'm just dumb. I don't know what's going on, my man. I'm distracted talking. So we'll focus up. Not so much for this part, but for this part. Nope, never mind. Still not this part. There's a part coming up that is a big time difference right here. Ooh, that was close. That was close. That was close. We're good though. I don't know what you can hear through the video, but yeah, you can tell if you can make sure that you get a correct jump, because it makes a slightly different noise on the jump. That is very important, because sometimes you'll think you do a jump, but technically you do the second jump, which is unfortunate. Yeah, right here is where you can just slip into here, avoid any kill zones, and ride all the way to the bottom. There's a lot more to the level, but this saves a good 30, 45 seconds. Maybe less than that. I don't know. There's a good bit of time. But yeah, again, it's all just about finding a way to get to the end of the level, activate the load zone. It's all always on, which is kind of cool. So it's just get there. If there was some way to get to this line earlier, I would happily take it. I couldn't find anything. And there we go. So, despite that death earlier, well, 2 deaths, I'm still about 35 seconds ahead of my PB. It's because, yeah, I didn't do a great job. My original run. But you take what you can get. You take what you can get. Typically, when I have a run that gets botched, I just start looking for new shortcuts, because there's obviously no way to start mid-level. The feature should be too advanced. But yeah, here's the first and one of 3 boss fights we actually do. You jump in a circle around them, and then at some point you punch them. I can never remember if it's 4 or 5 hits. There is the small chance that you miss a hit, or even if you click it, like the time the hit registers isn't fast enough, and you can lose cycles, which is unfortunate. And he drops these little things. Alright, seems good. Time. So let's count. Let's count. Is it 3? Is it 4 or 5? I think it's 5. Yeah, because there's 4. And y'all, I don't have the capacity to look at it, but y'all can probably look at the timer, and if I'm coming up on time, then you'll know that it's about to happen. I think it's 1 more full barrage, and then, oh, I'm wrong. Cool. Well, that was a good one. I think I'm also pretty inconsistent about when I actually hit the split. And so that plays a big role in me getting gold splits out of nowhere. If I forget to hit the button, then obviously. And all these things have a very complex, intricate story. If you can hear the sarcasm in my voice, it's there. But there's a nice little paragraph about how you're the chosen one, or like, why are you doing this? Like, what is the adventure that you seek? And I don't know, something like that. I think I read it my first playthrough, although I did not talk to any of the NPCs in the game. There's actually a lot more to this game than it first appears. So like, that yellow guy, you can talk to him, they'll tell you stories about the world. It really is a well done game. But, so one thing I'm going to talk about real fast as we get to it, every level, I mean, obviously has a central coordinate position. You know, it has a 0, 0, I assume. And what the game does is if it's confused about where it's supposed to put you because you're clipped into a wall, it'll put you at 0, 0. And for this level, 0, 0 is right here, which is very much out of bounds. But we take these because in this level, much like before, the exit trigger is totally accessible. It's just behind the boss room. The boss room itself is behind a wall that only opens after you beat the 4 subrooms. So instead of doing all of that hard work, we're gonna go right here. It was I think my current favorite spot to try to do it. we go. Oh, it was fast. That was a good one. That was a good one. Man, we're flying now. Doing that can be a big change in the time. It can easily take a couple minutes if you just get unlucky. I'm slowly finding better and better spots to jump over. That spot now, that was actually my second time using that spot, but it's a good spot. Way more consistent it feels. Here, question for the audience. Is it faster to use those grappling hooks just to my left there to get over this thing? Ooh, I like that. I think that one's going to be good. But here is the boss for this level. They forgot to close the boss room, so the boss room door was actually just always open. And that brings us to one of the bosses of the game. There's lots of ways you can attempt to beat this. Personally, I'm just going to use the flying. In theory, I think it could be faster if you really get a handle on the normal combat mechanics. I think that you can probably do it faster with that. Also, for reference, the reason I keep landing is you can only do the air kick, whatever things, 5 times before the game is like, no, that's enough. So I can't just infinitely combo, which is unfortunate. Well, honestly, it's good, because otherwise this boss fight would just be how fast can you click. Not even how fast, just can you click a button 16 times in a row and point your mouse in vaguely the correct direction. But that should wrap us up. And just like that, we are golden. How is that? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come on, come on, come on. This is a good run. We happily take these. Even with those 2 deaths, this is a solid run. I'm going to focus up a little bit because there's a few parts of this that can go wrong, and I don't want to botch this. I really don't. I am on a great pace. Oh yeah, the fourth. So yeah, when you slow time, you can use your magic powers or whatever. And those powers are heal, which you've seen me use a few times. Speed, which I forget about a lot, but just makes you a little bit faster. I'm not sure how worthwhile it is to use in win and stuff. We're saving. You can actually make it from that high one straight to here, but I would love to make it from this platform up to that top thing. What? Okay, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I should have boosted, and that's my bad. I want to get upset at the game, but that was my bad. I knew that was not going to work. I just don't think I've done it before. Oh, it's a shame. There goes my 10 seconds. I don't know. Unfortunate, but you take it. You gotta give yourself room to improve in the future, right? Also, this level is like the first one you can really hear the music come in, and I'm not sure how audible it is, but it's solid. Yeah. I think my background noise might be louder than the music. I turned it down because some of the audio effects are kind of unpleasant and played too loudly, but... Alright, focus time. Whoo! That was clean. Hey, buddy. That guy is a friend in short. So you do actually want to buy power-ups for this last boss fight. And in a perfect world, I'd have 600 or 100 more coins right now. I think I need to figure out what the time difference is between the two. See if I can't pick up an easy 100 extra, because if I can, it might make a big difference in the final boss fight where your damage output actually matters. But yeah, no, there were 4 more sub areas in this level that we just ignored because game design is great. Sorry, that last grapple area, it's not as easy as it looks. The game just has a tendency to kind of screw you sometimes. I also got to figure out where I can do that from. I don't know the range, you know. It should be a little fancy. Screw up the fancy part. You can grab the grapple point through the wall and shoot the beam if you do it all just right, but I've not practiced that very much, as that is the only part of the segment where it's done and it's happening near the end. Alright, now we're going to pray that we get good RNG boss fight. So the boss has 3 attacks. One of them is actually threatening. One of them does literally nothing. One of them does almost nothing. But if you get unlucky, he can do the one that actually does damage and can kill you a couple times in a row, and then suddenly, let's see. So this is the bad one. He shoots these beams at you. Make sure I actually heal. Alright, this is the one that looks scary, doesn't do anything. They forgot to actually add damage in. So he teleports around and stuff. And cool. The bad one again. This one can be really hard to dodge. And this one he summons. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. This is the one we want. We need like one more. If he teleports, we need to double jump fast. Oh, we're good, come on. And this is where I think the extra... I got scared. Whew. We're done. We're done. I was scared that it was the bad one, but now we're good. Alright, 22. Real time. You'll see again here how wrong the in-game time is, because it's, yeah, 16 minutes. Oh well. But yeah, that's the run. So, goodbye.